So, let's talk about something truly fascinating. We're going to look at this incredible mashup of ancient wisdom and brand new tech. We're going to explore how your tongue might just be the most honest health report you've got, and how AI is now learning to read it with scary good accuracy.
Seriously, just think about that for a second. Wouldn't it be amazing? A simple, clear signal that tells you, hey, something's a little off under the hood, way before it turns into a real breakdown.
Well, guess what? You've got one. It's been there all along. It's your tongue. For literally centuries, doctors have used it as a map to our internal health. And now technology is giving us a whole new superpowered way to look at it.
Okay, let's dive into this idea of subhealth. We're starting here because, honestly, this is where the story begins for so many of us. You know that feeling of not being sick, but you're definitely not feeling great either? Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
A staggering 75%. 3/4 of us are walking around in this weird gray zone. You're tired, you've got brain fog, you just feel off. But you go to the doctor, they run all the tests, and everything comes back normal. This is exactly where looking at the tongue can give us clues that nothing else can.
So subhealth is really that frustrating gap. It's when your body is sending you all these little signals, but our modern medicine doesn't really have a box to put it in yet. It's an imbalance, a disturbance in the system that actually shows up on your tongue long before it would ever appear in a blood test.
And right here, this is the core of the debate we're exploring today. The traditional view says, look, diagnosis is an art. It's about intuition. It's about connecting with a person in a way that goes way beyond just looking at colors and shapes.
So how do you take that art and teach it to a machine? Let's look at how this ancient practice is being translated into a modern science. It's a huge shift from a subjective feeling to objective, hard data.
And this slide really breaks it down, doesn't it? On one hand, you have the human eye. It's an art, built on years and years of experience and that kind of gut feeling. But on the other hand, you have AI vision. It's pure science. It's about crunching millions of data points to find patterns that are objective and repeatable. One isn't necessarily better, but they are completely different ways of seeing.
Now here's the big aha moment from the tech world. They'd argue that at its core, traditional Chinese medicine is pattern recognition. It's all about connecting tiny, subtle clues to a bigger picture. And that one thing, finding patterns in massive amounts of data, is what AI does better than anything else on the planet.
And wow, the results are pretty hard to argue with. I mean, just look at these numbers from some recent studies. The AI is hitting over 94% accuracy for gastritis, 98% for type 2 diabetes, and even over 99% for tongue cancer. In some cases, that's even better than a human specialist.
This quote just brings it all back down to earth, to the real world. For a modern doctor, this isn't about choosing sides between tradition and tech. It's about using the absolute best tool you have to help your patient. At a certain point, it becomes a professional duty.
Okay, so the obvious question, right? Great, can I just whip out my phone, take a selfie of my tongue, and diagnose myself? Well, not so fast. It turns out there's a really big problem we need to talk about.
And this is a reality for, well, pretty much everyone. The studies that get those amazing accuracy numbers, they're using super specialized, expensive camera setups in a controlled lab. That's a universe away from the phone that's in your pocket right now.
This right here is the mobile paradox, and it's so important to understand. Your phone camera isn't built to be a scientific tool. No, it's built to make you look good. It's programmed to make colors pop and smooth out textures, which is the exact opposite of what you need for a raw, honest medical image. And here are just a few of the everyday things that completely mess up the data. That beauty filter you love? It smooths over important details. The warm, cozy lighting in your bedroom? It can make a pale, deficient tongue look rosy and healthy. And yeah, your morning coffee or even certain medications, they can totally change the way your tongue looks to a camera. It's just bad data.
So to get around all that mess, the pros have a system. They use special lighting that's standardized to look exactly like natural daylight. They use these little color cards to make sure the camera's colors are perfectly accurate, and then they use fancy algorithms to basically undo all the helpful filtering your phone does automatically. It's a whole scientific process.
So let's be super clear. This is not a story about robots taking over for doctors. No way. This is about creating a powerful new partnership, a kind of diagnostic dream team that combines the best of both worlds. Okay, check this out, because this is where it gets really, really cool. This is the translation work that's happening right now. They're taking an ancient concept like spleen qi deficiency.
that's pronounced qi, which is often tied to things like fatigue and digestion. And they're mapping it to things an AI can actually measure, like the brightness of the tongue and the specific shape of teeth marks on the side.
But, and this is a big but, we come back to this piece of wisdom. The idea of Shen, or a person's spirit. What do we lose when we just reduce a person to a single, static image? As he says, a photograph is a corpse of a moment. It's frozen. A patient is alive.
And think about all the things a photo just can't see. It can't see if a tongue is quivering a little bit from anxiety. It can't tell if it's stiff, which could be a major warning sign for a stroke. It can't see that spark, that vitality that a good practitioner can spot from across the room. All of that is completely missing from the data.
Which of course brings us to the million-dollar question. It's the question every professional asks when new technology comes along. If the machine is so good, what's my job? Why am I even here?
And this is the answer. It's actually pretty simple and really powerful. The AI is brilliant at giving you the what. It can tell you what patterns it sees with incredible accuracy, but it takes a human to understand the why behind it, your life, your stress, your diet, and to work with you to figure out the how. How are we going to fix this together?
And this is where it gets so exciting. Just imagine a future where a practitioner gets an instant, data-backed second opinion from an AI, or they could wear augmented reality glasses that literally highlight problem areas on your tongue. For us as patients, imagine an app that tracks your internal health score day by day. This tech could empower all of us.
So I'll just leave you with this one thought. As this technology gets better and easier to use, we're all going to have to answer this question. If you could have a personal, daily check engine light for your own body, would you use it? The future of your health might just be one snapshot away.